Some breads are just bread. And then there is challah, a bread woven with tradition, rich with eggs, and touched by a whisper of honey. For years after gluten left my life, challah lived only in memory, a taste thought lost. Then, a new chapter began. It didn't start with a recipe, but with a quiet observation. My mother-in-law, the keeper of a beloved golden loaf, saw what was missing from my table, and so she took my hands and taught me to bake it again. The process begins with the dry ingredients. First, we create the foundation. In the bowl of a stand mixer, we whisk together 3.5 cups of our gluten-free bread flour blend. To that, we add whole psyllium husks for elasticity, granulated sugar to feed the yeast, baking powder for lift, instant yeast, and kosher salt. Next, we add the wet ingredients to form the dough. With the mixer on low speed, fitted with the paddle attachment, we slowly pour in 300 grams of lukewarm water and 120 grams of a neutral oil. Then, we add 2 whole eggs and 1 extra egg yolk. For richness, we mix until just combined. Then, we knead. We switch to the dough hook. We turn the mixer to medium-high speed and let it knead the dough for a full 5 minutes. The dough will be very soft, smooth, and wet, almost like a thick, cohesive quicksand. This is exactly right. The first secret, the long, cold rest. We scrape the soft dough into a separate bowl, cover it tightly, and place it in the refrigerator. This is non-negotiable. It must rest for at least 4 hours, but ideally overnight or even up to 3 days. This chill transforms the dough, firming it from quicksand into a workable texture and deepening its flavor. On baking day, we shape. We remove the cold, firmed dough and turn it out onto a surface generously dusted with more flour blend. We knead it gently until smooth. We cut the dough in half to make 2 loaves. Taking 1 half, we roll it into a rectangle and cut it into 4 even strips. We roll each strip into a long, smooth rope. Now, we braid. We lay the 4 ropes parallel. We pinch them together at the top. To form a 4-strand braid, we take the far right strand and cross it over the 2 strands next to it. Then, we take the far left strand and cross it over the 2 strands now next to it. We repeat this pattern, right over 2, left over 2, all the way down. We pinch the ends to seal. The second secret, the triple egg wash. We place the braided loaf on a parchment-lined baking sheet. In a small bowl, we whisk 1 egg with a tablespoon of water and a pinch of salt. Using a pastry brush, we coat the entire loaf with this egg wash. This first coat acts as a shield. We let it proof. We place the loaf in a warm, draft-free spot to rise. It should look puffy and almost doubled in size, which takes about 30 to 45 minutes. We bake. We preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We give the risen loaf a second, generous coat of egg wash. We place it in the hot oven and immediately reduce the temperature to 325 degrees. We bake for 20 minutes. We apply the final coat. We carefully pull the loaf out. Any pale spots get a third, finishing coat of egg wash. This is the key to a deep, glossy crust. We return it to the oven to bake for another 20 minutes until it is a perfect, deep, golden brown. Finally, we cool. We transfer the loaf to a wire rack. We must let it cool completely before slicing. This patience rewards us with a perfect texture. The beautiful gift of this journey was the result. A bread that is not just good for gluten-free. It is simply, wonderfully challah, rich, soft, and slightly sweet.